am beyond ecstatic. I'm deeply appreciative that this community in particular has provided such a great experience of support and appreciation, because we all are answering this call of being artistic in our composing and in our songwriting. And it can be a challenging call, and it's a very unique call, but for this community to have, recognized my work and my commitment to that calling is extraordinary. I can't even talk about it right now. I'm still so blown away. It speaks to the fact that you never ever really know how things are going to happen, how things are going to line up. And this particular project, I really feel the spirit of Toni Morrison brought us all together, because there was, in other words, a summoning, and she is such a force in and of herself. And I feel that has been the groundswell and the sort of the well of creativity that we all pulled from. Myself, Timothy Greenfield Sanders, the director, the collaborators, the other producers, Johanna Giebelhaus. And for the most part, I'm still just jaw-dropped. And also, because it was about Toni Morrison, it was very easy for me to sort of channel that intention, because she's so remarkable and she inspired me. So I'm just grateful that people felt that connection and they resonated with that sensibility. And it just shows you that you never know. Still, what? Really? Because everyone is extraordinary. Yes. All the nominees are extraordinary. Those scores are breathtaking from all my other, comrades, if you will. And there's so much talent in general that's here tonight. So this is extraordinary. I don't take it for granted. I feel extremely fortunate and humbled. That's the main word. I'd say humbled and honored.
I feel amazing because, for nothing else, for no other reason than the fact that this is, the first SCL award. Yeah. And the idea of an award that's nominated and voted on by a community of our peers. Yeah. And that to me is like what makes this so important. Yeah. Other composers, the talent in that room is insane. Thomas Newman's sitting at the table next to me. These are the people in the room that are voting on these things. That's unbelievable. How cool is that?
I think it's like the screen actors have had it for a while, the writers have had it for a while, the producers have it for a while, and it's now.
And now composers have ours.
That's great. I think it's just a wonderful.
For many years, I think people have looked at video games as being sort of the stepchild to the industry, but it's really not. And I think people are starting to really recognize that. We're writing music that's on the scale of any of the other films that are being made. The production budgets are similar. We recorded 14 days with with the LSO and the greatest musicians in London and the Bach Choir, and at Abbey Road Studios. It's pretty unbelievable what they're putting in these games these days. So,
and I think it's one of those things where it's games have grown up now such that to the point where we passed the sort of the initial kind of are we going to have like orchestral music in games a while ago now, and it's like this thing where it's like we're almost getting into that stage of I think people have got past the initial sort of idea, and they're really saying like, okay, how can we add to the experience with this, and how can we how can we have an experience where we're not just sort of like following what's going on screen, but we're actually adding subtext. And it's a similar journey that film went through, and games as a younger industry, just to have them sort of recognized in the same thing, I think it's just terrific.
Yeah,
we've been able to sort of have the same sort of kind of experience in terms of crafting these things, and now there's no longer is it it's just game music. It's like I think people are just now now realize hang on, there's something going on here, and there's some really interesting
perspective has changed greatly, and that's great. It's a wonderful thing, because there is really great music being written for games, just as well as TV and films. So. It's they all live alongside each other.
Oh, I'm so deeply honored, because it's just it's so touching to get recognition from your colleagues and from all of these incredible composers. And just to be so warmly invited to this community has been really the most special thing, I think, of the last months. It's really truly special. Well, because the story is real, I felt it was really important that the music was also real and that the music was like tangibly real, that it was based on reality, almost more like factual music than fictional music. Like I didn't want to sensationalize anything or dramatize anything that happened in the story, and I also felt it was really important that the space was a character of its own, and because the space I think is so important in the story, and so I really wanted the space to get to be a character.
Feeling good, feeling really happy. Just got handed this by the writer of one of my favorite songs to sing and listen to. So it's amazing. It's amazing. In all honesty, I remember when I got the message they were looking for something, and I said, I don't have a song, and I prayed. I was like, God, send me a song. And that's how the first note came. That little hum theme, it just came, and for me, the objective was, to make something that sounded good and to make something that would just speak to Harriet Tubman. And that would make Harriet Tubman, I don't know whether proud is the word, but something for her.
I'm slightly just blown away. It's just really, it's so special, and it's just, again, receiving 2 awards from this society, and here we go. You can't really be invited warmer into a society, and it's oh my God, it's so wonderful. Well, Todd said it actually really well. I almost felt like he was talking about myself when he was talking about the Joker the other day. He was talking about how the Joker is almost like a shadow persona of Arthur. It's like, it's because I think every person does have 2 sides to them, and a lighter and a darker. And my musical side tends to be a bit more of a darker side, so it's kind of easily accessible. But it's I think with every story you just have to dive as deep as you can, and just try to connect to the core of the story. And that's I was really, in Joker, I was really given, well, both Chernobyl and Joker, I mean, they were 2 so special projects because I was really honestly given so much space to do exactly that, and really from a place that I felt really comfortable with, and I just had so much space, and it's just the space that the music gets in the movie is also really, really special. It gets such a presence.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
Just,